Hey everyone, how's it going? Shuffle's back here with another video, and today we are going to go through our second last video, actually video number 4 of the Chapter 9 series. So today we're going to do stages 13 to 16, and then stage 17 I will do on manual for you guys so you guys can see kind of the step-by-step a little bit easier. Well, let's jump right into 13. Hopefully you guys like this series. I don't know if they're going to be adding any more chapters in the future, but if they do, I feel like this stuff should help anyone that has any questions about this kind of stuff. So stage 13, this probably is not going to work very well. Okay, never mind. So she actually did the job there, but realistically, you want to put your tank down first, and then your fighter. We kind of cheesed it here because she can't. If you put them right behind, she's gonna die. But Zilla 2 gets extra range because currently her formation just goes up into these tiles that are blocked and can hit these 6 tiles at the bottom. Uh, but she wouldn't be hitting the square except for during her ult. And during her ult, she can reach further, so she can hit the people in front of our Zolde there. So it's the only place I could put her that was safe. And then in front of the other portal, we put our Regulus with our Silas, who, of course, we have Virna, so he's ignoring 100% of defense. I brought Isolde just because I wanted the extra damage, and then I didn't know what to do with my last slot, and we had Calypso with us, so she got to stay there. Ideally, you want single target mages. I've said this in every video so far, but I really want people to realize that first of all, I'm fully aware I should have single target mages because I'm sure there's someone in the comment section that's going to say something. I just didn't have any. I don't have any single target mages, so I'm making use of what I have. The options I'm using are not the best. Silas, Zotu, Arrogance, and Silas are the main people I've been using, and they're all fine. But don't use Calypso if you have a mage that can do anything, because it's not optimal. I could probably even use Combat, and it would be better, but just because I was using Lunaria, I, for some reason, decided to bring all marksmen. Anyway, that's 13 down. Pretty simple. Basically, just as long as you deal with the left is just a damage check. Can you get enough damage off before they kill your tank? So on to 14. We just have the one portal here. So we lead with our Silas, heal with the Vortex. We're not too worried about this little priest dude because he comes out first, but you do want to kill him, and he will hit you. So make sure you have a healer down first because he does hit kind of hard. And then I have these two over here. I can't pause it and look. But I have one facing forward, and the other one is facing up. So same thing. She won't be able to reach unless we ult, but she was dying in the stage ahead, so. I also have Hatsu down there. It's basically just project protect the house at this point. That is a flyer there, so you do have to have something that can kill that. Thankfully, our Ziltu was able to kill him. She's gonna die because she wasn't protected. You can see those mages hit that come through actually hit really hard. Now it's just these two. The good news is every time you kill one of those mages, the rest of the team gets stunned, or the golems get stunned. So does help a little bit. Yeah, the last two just come down to the bottom. Not too bad. I feel like because 16 and 17 were significantly harder, these two stages weren't too bad. Ooh. Throw me a like on the video for doing these stages twice, please and thank you. A lot of it's like a solid 200 energy burn, but hopefully this helps you guys out. All right, here is the only portal is in the middle here, which is kind of awkward because it's really exposed. So we block the way they come first and put our Silas there. We have Lunari in the team, so our Silas can reach from there, which is nice. If you try and go from these left-hand tiles, these mages will probably pop you. So this was the best way for me to do it. If you, and everybody has Lunaria, so if you have a really hard-hitting, if you have a Silas, it's going to ignore defense, or a really heavy-hitting marksman that can reach all the way over there that also does magic damage, then that would be a good option. And you do want to deal with these guys, because as we talked about in the last stage, they hit very hard. And now we're at the point where we can tank this bottom one. And Silas can reach down here. We do put Arrogance in behind him. But everybody's got heals on them. Honestly, it's the mages, I think, that I'm most worried about on this stage, because we already know we can kill the golems. So we're down to 8 enemies to go. We got these 4 golems, which is probably the scariest part, because we kind of are depending on Silas to get them all at the same time. We have a little bit of help at the bottom with the Arrogance and the burn, but once they're dead, that's pretty much it. Because this part's... If you made it this far, you're not going to die to these 3. Yep, that's it for that. The next stage is the hard one, or one of the hard 2, I guess. So 9-16, 9-17, like I said, we're going to do that in another video. This one took a little bit to figure out what was going to work. I tried a bunch of different things. I managed to clear it with a completely different strategy, but I found it wasn't as reliable as the one I'm going to show you. So we do throw a tank down here. You don't want this to be your best tank. You're going to want your best tank later. So you probably have Olag. If you don't, you can get them for free from doing Void Rift. And if you haven't been able to do Void Rift, then you're probably not doing Chapter 9. So you should have Olag by now. You're going to need Olag for up here. So whatever you do, don't deploy him down here. You could use Isolde down here if you don't have Regulus. But you're going to need 2 tanks at the bottom and 1 tank at the top. We put this one down first because we want to wait. You can see how this guy's between tiles, this priest up here. That's when you want to put down your tank. So we're going to put Olag down now, and that will help us when we go to kill the boss. For now, we're going to wait on the boss. So I tried many things, because he kind of comes down and like zigzags through this whole maze. If he does that, he's going to wipe your entire team. So your best strategy is tanking up here, killing everything else, and then going back and killing him. So we throw Elwyn down. I'm sure you could use Vortex there. I'd say my Olag is well geared. I can show you his gear after. I think he's the only one whose gear probably matters for this if you're dying. But mine's not even fully skilled up, so it's not terrible. Let's pause again real quick. I did put a Arrogance in behind. You could throw a Mage facing forward. You could even probably throw a Marksman on the bottom, to be completely honest. These guys aren't too tanky. And there's none of the giant golems coming around, so you could probably put anyone on the bottom. You will need either a mage or someone that ignores defense going up here, though, in front of your tank over here. I used Isolde on the right and Regulus on the bottom, but whatever combination you use, these guys are super tanky, so I used Silas, same with all my other videos, but you can use Nocturne. Nocturne's maybe even better, but I don't have them, so I couldn't use them. But you can see Arrogance is dealing with the bottom all by himself. And Regulus is fine tanking. I do throw Bjorna in to help over here. I don't know how much she's doing. We can look at the damage report after. But really, it's just using my Style Assault whenever I have it, making sure my Solday doesn't die, and trying to keep one eye up here on the Eloin and the Olag. It should be fine if your gear's good enough, but just in case. Like I don't think I used my Olag alt the entire fight. And I probably could have. I know I use the Eloin alt just when I see her health is low, but I don't even think it's mandatory. I think she would have been fine. So we're quite literally waiting until this says 21 out of 22. When it says that, you can recall this entire bottom section because you're going to need them, and we're going to leave the boss where he is and kill him up there. So you're actually going to recall the entire bottom and transfer them to the top. So we're up to 16 out of 22. 18. So we get 3 more kills before we can despawn them. I think we actually kill, I think there's 2 on the bottom. Yeah, so there's 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top. Once I kill these bottom 2, I despawn the ones at the bottom just to get their timers started. So they're dead. We recall them, pop our Style Assault, kill this guy, and despawn all of them. So now all we have to do is kill the boss. Now, the reason we let this guy walk halfway through the tile is because we have Lunaria and Silas, which means I can put Silas back here, and he will be pretty far away, but still be able to reach. If I would have deployed my Olag earlier, the boss would be back here, and I wouldn't be able to reach him, which would mean I'd have to put my Silas here, and then he would die to the big fire alt that he has, so that would be bad. We don't want that. So if you don't have Silas, or a really strong marksman for some reason to pair with your Lunaria, you can bring Setram. It's probably better because you don't need a Lord skill, so it would allow you to bring more mages. But yeah, Setram would work great. So at this point, I just put her down because we have her. It's Hatsuit. Get a few % damage in there before she dies. But we're just basically waiting. So I put my heal down first in Vortex, and then that way he can help support the Eloin, because the Eloin's really the only one's getting knocked low. The Silas is only protected by the Vortex, but he should be fine. I don't think he even takes damage. And that's really it. So I do deploy others just to speed it up. Like, you can see I put him in there, but he's not even getting healed by anybody. He just puts the burn on, does a little chip damage. You want to wait for this ult to finish. You can see the damage is quite good. He does actually take damage, but it's not too bad. He's far enough away that he only gets half health. And just whenever he's prepping his ult, you can't do damage with your ultimates or with anything. So it's basically invincible for a short period of time. So you wait, throw him down again. He's prepping another ult so we don't do any damage. And then Silas is able to kill him. Get our little post-fight animation here. He full out kills everybody and transforms. But he still dies. And now we have to fight his true form on stage 16. So that is the 4 floors we're going to cover today. If you want to see stage 16, it'll be in the next, or sorry, stage 17, it'll be in the next video. If you're missing any of the earlier stages, feel free to check them out as well. They're all already on the channel. Let me show you the Olag gear really quickly, just so you can see what mine lived with. Ignore the fact that he's on the Invigoration set, but he is on triple HP. And the right side isn't very good. There's no defense on this piece. There's just a little bit of speed and rage regen. Speed on this piece with some flat HP and rage regen. And a little bit of defense with some speed on this piece. And that's it. The reason he's on Invigoration is for other content. Has nothing to do with this floor. He doesn't need to be on Invigoration for this floor. You just ideally want him on triple HP main stats. And then you want a lot of defense substats if you can. So we have a huge defense substat on this one with a huge HP substat and some speed and some flat HP. Great piece here. And then I actually had him on this set, the Immortal Warrior set, because it has HP and defense. But then I got this gear drop, and it had 29% HP and 24.5% defense with a huge flat defense stat. So I switched. So he ended up with the HP set instead of the Immortal Warrior set because it gave me more defense in the end. But here's his total stats. He has almost 90k HP with 5400 defense. It only gets too crazy because my right side gear isn't very good, even though it is the bonus set. So instead of the normal sets being 60%, it is 66. But with the substats being kind of bad, I'm sure you guys can find gear that's equally as good. In terms of the artifact, I put him on Goddess of Grace. He is there for a long period of time, so this artifact's actually quite good on him because it stacks defense over time. It kind of makes up for the defense that we were missing at the start. And then, like I mentioned, he's not even skilled up yet because I'm out of skill stones. So he doesn't have the skill cost on his ult, although he never even used his ult a single time. But more importantly, he doesn't have the shield capacity or the cooldown on his shield. So I wouldn't worry too much about him being crazy because mine surely isn't. You should be able to get through it, especially if yours is already maxed. And then in terms of damage, we primarily use Sylas. I don't know if you guys want to see his gear, but he is my best geared unit. So there's a quick peek at his stats if you haven't seen them already. He did get a boost recently, so he's a little bit stronger than he was. At 17,000 attack, a 1.1 attack interval, which is 394 speed, 100% crit, and 276 crit damage. Unfortunately, his artifact isn't maxed yet. He's at a plus 16 Nether Messenger. But yeah, other than that, I don't think any of their stats are overly important. I guess I could show you how tanky she is, because she's not. She's on attack, HP, and the HP piece doesn't have an attack substat on it, but she's got almost 20k attack and 33k HP with just shy of 2k defense. So any lower than that, you might have a hard time keeping her alive. So if you ever on triple attack, maybe she would die there, and you may be better off using an HP-based healer like a Vortex and swapping your healers, but it depends on what you've got. You'll have to play around with it. But anyway, guys, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all tomorrow for Stage 17. Have a good night, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.